Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for coming to Wellness Wednesday, where I am Paula Richardson. I'm the owner and operator of TN Health Solutions, emphatically known as Top Notch Health Solutions, where we are provoking wellness from the inside out. Okay, so tonight we're continuing the series, Is Your GI Tract Holding You Back? Okay, all right. Last week we did our discussion, which can be also seen on the YouTube page, that kind of introduced the gut microbiome, our gut health. And every week until the end of the year, I'm going to be presenting something that's vital and important that impacts our overall wellness with regards to our gut microbiome. Okay. And so in this, I will also be discussing some services that I'm offering at my office that, again, provoking wellness from the inside out. We know that COVID isn't going anywhere, flu isn't going anywhere, monkeypox, polio, whatever else is going on. If you're not dealing with chronic health issues, a lot of our family is, someone that you love is, and this information will change your life. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. On gut health is wellness. So as discussed before, my name is Paula Richardson. My goal is to provoke wellness from the inside out. My office is in Decatur, Georgia, 4525 Flat Shoals Parkway, Suite 401. There's my number and the website. So just want to kind of give a little insight. What is a nurse practitioner? So I'm an advanced practice registered nurse with a master's degree as a family nurse practitioner, as well as an acute gerontology nurse practitioner where I can work in the intensive care unit. And so I can assess, diagnose, and treat. And so in my office, I operate as a family nurse practitioner. A little bit about my professional history. I started out as a certified nursing assistant. I am extremely proud of the path that I'm chosen. I have loved every facet of my career, from CNA to nurse practitioner. And so it all started in 1998 at Georgia Medical Institute. I received my associate degree in 2003. My first master's in 2012 as a family nurse practitioner, and then a postmaster certification as an adult gerontology acute care nurse practitioner. I have over 22 years of nursing and critical care specifically. I've been a nurse practitioner, a family nurse practitioner for 10 years, and an acute care nurse practitioner for 8. So recently, I just decided to navigate my profession in a different way. And it all started through COVID. TN Health Solutions was birthed out of a passion to serve. I saw what COVID was doing to our community from an intensive care unit perspective, what my colleagues were going through in the COVID ICU, and the lack of testing and care at the time. So I started providing testing and care out of the trunk of my 2017 Camry. And now I have expanded to an office where we're full scale wellness. So we still do COVID, strep, flu. I do full medical services as well as wellness and aesthetics. So let's move on. There has been a move and a shift in the atmosphere, and it is wellness. And I want to take everybody there on this journey as I explore it as well in a very different way that I've been doing for the last 20 years. You couldn't tell me for the last 20 years that I wasn't doing the best that I thought was there for patients, which I still think, of course, intensive care unit medicine is phenomenal. But I want to figure out how to serve on the other end. How do I prevent myself from being in that bed, but also how can I help the community with wellness? I have to give a disclaimer, as with any type of information like this, as well as any supplements I discuss, that the content in this presentation is for information or educational purposes only. It does not substitute your professional medical advice from your healthcare professional who's providing conventional medicine. Also, any dietary supplements I suggest in this presentation are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure, prevent any disease. That's it's always said about anything that's not necessarily FDA approved or conventional medicine. So down to it. Is your GI tract holding you back? And so you can see there that the GI tract affects many things about our overall wellness, from diabetes, metabolic disorders, skin breakouts, fatigue, low energy, mood swings, inflammation that leads to more diabetes, high blood pressures linked to cancer, as well as triggers for autoimmune diseases like RA and lupus. Our gut is intricately involved in this. Our gut bacteria and what's in our gut literally affects our whole life. Okay. All right. So tonight we're going to focus on obesity, metabolic disorders, and difficulty losing weight. Okay. So specifically, the impact of the gut microbiome, which is your gut bacteria, on obesity. So let me just start by saying that it is normal to have bacteria in your gut. We have good gut bacteria that's called commensal bacteria, and then you have other organisms that shouldn't be there. Tonight, I'm going to focus on the commensal bacteria and a little bit of the opportunistic ones that we must keep under control. It's about a balance, okay? So my agenda, my first part is my testimony. The second part is commensal good gut bacteria, then the gut wellness program that I have, and the metabolic reboot program. So this is me, okay? I wasn't sick, but I wasn't well, okay? So I don't know if anybody else has ever felt like that before, but I couldn't put a finger on it. I just wasn't well. I could go to my doctor and they could not find, I couldn't give them anything to say, what's wrong, but I just didn't feel well. And my main issues were sugar cravings, carb cravings, difficulty losing weight. I could cut my calories. I worked out and I just felt like I'm literally starving myself, and this weight isn't moving. I'm working out extra hard and it's just not coming off. Lack of energy. And I mean, literally, I would eat 6 tacos, to be specific, 4 crunchy and 2 soft, and a king size Reese cup on the way home. And I wasn't hungry all the time, but I just had to have it. It was like in my mind, and I had to pull over every time. I mean, I'm talking about making a U-turn to go back to Taco Bell in the middle of McDonald's traffic. And it was it was ravaging. Okay. I would eat like a whole bag of the Jolly Ranchers, that big bag. It was something in me that if I didn't get it, I was upset or I was irritable. I just didn't seem right without these things. So it was like I'm just battling with everything. Disclaimer: I have no problem with Reese's or Taco Bell. Okay. I'm not saying you can't buy it. I'm not saying that it's a horrible thing, but those are things I craved very, very bad. And that's the look on my face when I saw my gut health results. All right. So we're going to move on here to good gut bacteria. Okay. So you hear a lot about probiotics. All right. And they are great. All right. And these are the things that those probiotics are supposed to help in your gut. Okay. So these are just a few of the good gut bacteria that should currently reside in your gut. Okay. And if you see here, these levels, you want them in the green. Okay. This is an example of the test, a small example of the test that I have at my office that can be provided to help explore your gut. And so as you see here, I got some lows. I got a few that are kind of okay, but a few that are low. But specifically, I have one that is absolutely absent. It's called Akkermansia, and it's absent. And this is something that shocked me, especially when I began to do some research about it, about what Acromansia is. Now, overall, I definitely could use a good source of probiotics that has the quality bacteria in it that are going to help stimulate all of my good gut bacteria. However, this one I have none. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next slide. So Ackermansia is the warrior against metabolic disease. Okay. It is the warrior against metabolic disease. So metabolic disease is obesity. It is high blood pressure. It is diabetes. It is inflammation. Okay. And so inflammation in the gut can cause inflammation in the body that continues to lead to some cancers. It leads to more high blood pressure, more diabetes, more cholesterol issues. It's just a, I guess a rock just going downhill. And I don't have any of it detectable. As you can see to the right, 1.0 to e to the 1. I mean, that's exponential. I'm supposed to have a whole lot, and I don't have any detectable on this test. So dealing with a little bit more about acromansia, which I did discuss, is linked to obesity, inflammation, high blood pressure, metabolic disorders, diabetes. So what does it do? It breaks down carbs, sugars, controls insulin levels. Okay. It also protects the lining of the gut. So you see Akkermansia, mucinophilia. It helps with the mucin in our gut that strengthens the lining to keep it tight. Okay. All right. So if you don't have Akkermansia, you have a risk for inflammation, which opens the channels of the gut and makes it unhealthy. Okay. And so basically, what obesity is the failure of your gut to maintain toxins inside the intestine. Instead, it seeps out. Okay. And that's what they call what happens when we struggle with our weight. What else does Akkermansia do? It nourishes the other microbiomes in the gut. So literally, the Akkermansia breaks down carbs, sugars, controls insulin levels. It protects the lining of the gut with mucin, with mucus. And the byproducts of all of that, it helps our body with energy. Okay. It helps us controlling our insulin levels, are those highs and lows that we get if you eat so much of the bad stuff, you just want to pass out. So literally, the other thing it does is it nourishes the other bacteria. So without the proper amount of Akkermansia, it's contributing to my other gut bacteria that just need help. Okay. And so replenishing this naturally is the goal. So really big here, I have it activates GLP-1. And you're probably wondering, what is GLP-1? So GLP-1 is the hormone that communicates to our brain when we're hungry, when we're full. Okay? This is huge. The brain and the gut work together. Okay? So the Akkermansia breaks down our food, the sugar and carbs. It literally controls our insulin levels. It literally activates GLP-1 to secrete, to communicate through the nervous system to our brain when you're hungry and when you're full. So I literally am like, I'm eating a king size Reese's cup before leaving the parking lot at the gas station. I'm eating those tacos. I had to stop in the gas station parking lot to eat the tacos. I couldn't even wait to get home because I just had to have it. So if I didn't have the Akkermansia even to tell my brain, hey, I'm secreting this stuff, this GLP-1, she's full. I didn't know I was full until I ate everything. And by that time, I've already eaten it. Okay. So the big thing I want you to remember is that it activates GLP-1 because that connects to one of my other wellness programs and how it works so effectively, but also trying to let everybody know that if we have the right gut health that matches our health and wellness goals, then we do not have to fight a losing battle. Obesity is not a choice. Okay, it is something that is stimulating something for us to have these challenges. Okay, the cravings are real. They're very real. Okay, whether it's medication that's interrupting it, whether it's if you're depressed, there are different reasons, but this communicating to our brain. Okay, all right, so let's go to the next slide. The next problem I had is I had strep and pseudomonas. So these things are in the gut, okay? And when they're overgrown, they lead to what we call a dysbiosis, an imbalance in the gut, okay? All right. And so what these things love are carbs and sugars. All right. So that's just one thing that's just a couple of things that these bacteria cause, but they literally want sugar and carbs. So guess what I'm craving? The Reese cup and the Taco Bell. I mean, literally, when I saw my results, I'm like, wow, like, wait a minute. So I have staph and pseudomonas in my gut that's craving the sugar and carbs. Then I have no Akkermansia that's breaking the carbs and sugar down. So I'm literally like looking like my body is in a total, like, it's a mess. And so when I saw my results, first of all, when I see these bugs, I've seen them in the blood of my patients in the intensive care unit. So for me, it was a huge eye opener because I felt like my health was failing, but I couldn't explain it. But when I see this, I'm closer to a hospital bed than I probably thought I was. I mean, I'm walking around. I'm normal. I'm going to work. I'm doing the normal stuff we all do, but my body has something else going on in the wrong direction. And so literally what these bugs can do is they cause inflammation. Remember that word, inflammation, that leads to high blood pressure, diabetes, everything. And the intestines that's supposed to be like this, it begins to open. Okay. And that's what it leads to obesity when we can't break down those toxins right because our gut lining is poor. And also if that lining continues to open at the right time, those bugs can get into the bloodstream. They can go to the lung, literally end up in other places. So what I was battling is real, right? And how do we fix it? So I want to share some of my stats. So I've been specifically focusing on my gut health once I saw those results. And so this is the phenomenal results I've gotten. And since I've been healing my gut naturally, the cravings, like, I survived Halloween. I'm shocked. I haven't gotten a king size Reese cup in a while. Now I have had a Reese cup, but it hasn't been king size, and I haven't been like gunning for it. I've been able to say I just want a little something sweet and I'm good. The Taco Bell, I don't even have the cravings for those things anymore since I've been healing my gut naturally. Okay. All right. And so my stats here. So my abdominal circumference up here, I'm 43.2 inches right now. I've lost 2.3 inches since my last scan. That's phenomenal. This is about 5 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. My torso fat mass, which is where I tend to gain most of my weight. I have a little story. My son may have been 3 years old, and he said, "Mama, what happened to you?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Your arms are small. Your legs are small. What did you eat? A car or a bed?" I Hey, he was just asking me what happened to me, so I'm a box. I mean, hey, it is what it is. And so now that I see what's really going on the inside, I'm fighting this. And so, for me to see the abdominal circumference go down, but also my torso fat mass, I've lost 6.1 pounds specifically in my gut area, my torso area, where I gain most of my weight. All right. So it only says 2 inches, but I'm talking about 6 pounds just in my torso area. And that's where, when you have that much fat just focused in the gut area, high blood pressure, diabetes, metabolic disorders, I mean, high risk for cardiovascular death. I mean, all the risk factors are there. Down there to the bottom right is my total fat mass. So I have 100.8 pounds. So I have let me be specific. I have a scanner at my office that's phenomenal, that helps measure you from the inside out. This is not a regular scale by any means. It's phenomenal. It gives you detailed information about yourself inside and out. And so nevertheless, I've lost 11 pounds of fat mass. Okay. Like seriously, that's phenomenal. Focusing, like really focusing on my gut health. And what do I mean by that? So I take prebiotics, I take certain probiotics geared to what I need. I don't have any Acromansia, so I'm replenishing that with polyphenols that are specifically geared towards my gut health results. And I'm also taking very high quality probiotics that have 11 strands that have to go in the refrigerator to help boost all of my other numbers as well. In addition to that, I'm also taking certain supplements that naturally kill Pseudomonas and staph in the gut. And so it's a 90-day program, but I mean, look at the results I'm getting while I'm on it. I mean, this is phenomenal. The next slide, I'm not sure if you can really see a lot of it, but I just want to talk about the BWI result. It's called a bio wellness result. This is something that, again, my scanner does. And so literally my bio wellness score September 19th was 4.9. Goal is at least 6.5 minimum to have, just like, I guess you could say, minimal wellness. I have a long way to go. I've lost 30 pounds so far. However, it was 4.9 in September 19th. It is now 5.5. Okay. And I want to be clear about the weight. So you see, it says 252 and I'm 250. So you're like, wait a minute. How could she have lost only 2 pounds? This is the last scan. But take a look at this. Okay. Well, keep listening. I'm gonna get to it. So going down here, my lean body mass has increased by 9 pounds. Okay. So I do work out and I do lift weights. So my lean body mass has increased, right? And muscle weighs more than fat. Okay. So therefore, it takes away from the total body weight initially, but it's all gonna, as I focus more on cardio, it's gonna come down. Also note one other thing. I'm not sure if you can see it. My total body water is 7 pounds lighter on the initial scan. And so that's why it's important not to weigh yourself at certain times of the month. Hormonal changes have you retain sodium and water. So my scale is able not to use it in certain numbers, but it's still included in the body weight. Okay. So I'm actually lighter than 250. However, with the water on board, it just makes it off. So again, that's the importance of not weighing yourself at certain times of the month. So avoid, if you're a female, avoid a few days before your cycle and about a few days after at least. And make sure you're hydrating during your cycle as well. But nevertheless, so my lean body mass is up. My visceral fat level is down. So visceral fat is what's in our abdominal area, the area that I just tend to gain all my weight. My visceral fat level is down. It was over 18. Now it's 15. My visceral fat mass was 18.3 pounds. Now it's down to 14.8 pounds. Okay. Also, my metabolic rate has increased greatly. My BMR is what you can burn just by waking up every day. It was 1752. Now it's 1840. Okay. All right. So there's been a lot of change here. My subcutaneous fat mass has also improved greatly. So healing your gut, change your life naturally, using holistic natural supplements and essential oils to heal your gut naturally. Okay. And so the gut wellness plan at my office, a testing kit can be sent to your home or picked up at my office. I receive the results in about 7 to 10 days. I customize a 90-day wellness plan. It may take longer if we have yeast or parasites or worms. or if you have a gut that has a lot of things going on, we have to take it step by step. It's a customized 90-day wellness plan and it includes nutrition, reasonable lifestyle changes, and supplements that are geared towards targeting your gut health. And after that 90-day wellness plan, you go on a maintenance like usual baseline supplements that we all should be taking. Foundational wellness is key. Not just when we're sick, when we take vitamin C, zinc, all that stuff when we're sick, but we should do it when we're well. Okay. So this brings me to my metabolic reboot program, which it uses semaglutide with levocarnitine in it. Okay, so it is not Ozempic. All right, this cannot be prescribed from a pharmacy. It's done from my compounding pharmacy. It reboosts metabolism. It's got proven results. Injections at home or in the clinic. I have an Evoke body scan. I educate on gut health and foundational wellness. So it's a whole experience. But more importantly, how does it work? I hear a lot of people just wondering, how does it work? So look at this. How does semaglutide work? It activates GLP-1 that triggers your body to tell you when you are hungry and when you are full. The same thing that Akkermansia does in the gut. So literally, gut health is wealth. Okay? It does the same thing that our gut bacteria can do for our bodies if we had it set up right. So that's why when my clients are using semaglutide, it's not a fix. It's a bridge. It's a bridge. And we have to navigate ways to have your body do what the semaglutide is doing. So they've used the hormones from our body and made a medication that literally mimics it. So there's a study I'm going to include it in my email if you're on my mailing list. And if you're not, please drop your email below on Facebook or on YouTube, where mice who had the gut bacteria that I had, if they worked out, they did not lose weight. If they cut their calories, they did not lose weight. But until they got infused with a good amount of prebiotics and probiotics, then the weight start coming off. So that's the end of Wellness Wednesday tonight. I just want to say thank you for coming. Please consider booking a wellness appointment with me just to discuss your wellness goals and see how I can possibly help you, thrust you and provoke you for wellness on the inside and out. We do IV vitamin hydration. We have a vitamin bar. Again, our gut wellness, our metabolic reboot program. We have all natural doTERRA MetaPower products. Oh my God, that are phenomenal. So I'm sure I have something that can help you meet your health and wellness goals. Don't wait till the new year. Start now. All right. Thank you so much for choosing to listen to Wellness Wednesday, and see you next week. The next topic is gut health and immunity. All right. Take care.